Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, Enterprise Morning, it is reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our conversation for today, where we have it that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has signed the Electoral Act Amendment 2026 into law, clarifying that electronic transmission of election results in Nigeria will serve as a supportive tool rather than a replacement for manual transmission. The signing took place at the presidential villa in Abuja shortly after the Independent National Electoral Commission released the timetable for the 2027 general elections. The National Assembly had earlier passed the amendment following intense public debate over the future of results transmission. Former Cross River State resident Electoral Commissioner Mike Igini criticized both the judiciary and the National Assembly, blaming them for persistent electoral challenges and faulting the decision to retain manual collation as a backup. Let's get talking. Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid is still here with us. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for being here. We truly do appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you.
Yes, so Barrister, let's get talking on this very sudden, not so good or comfortable news coming from Nigeria, especially as signed in by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Are we moving forward or backward in this country? What's your take on this? I know so many loyalists of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are defending the fact that e-transmission is not necessary. In 2026, when AI and technology has taken over almost everything that we do. What's your take, Barrister?
You see, we are in a country where people in authority or people, all of us, will deceive ourselves. We take position based on our interests, not based on the interest of the nation. The same APC government or people in government today who are saying that we're ripe enough to use electronic transmission of results as to rely on it solely. We are the same people in the 2015 or so, or before that were calling for e-election in Nigeria. So you can see, wherever they stand, whatever that will benefit them is what they think. They give excuses in support of it. You see, I listened to the president yesterday, or when he signed that document and his commentaries thereafter. One of the excuses he gave is that we do not have a capacity technologically to deliver. If that particular kind of excuse or statement was from the opposition or a member of opposition or opposition party, what would the response of the government? They will tell you that person is marketing. It's not patriotic because marketing Nigeria is trying to create an impression of not a conducive environment to foreign investors. That's what they will tell you. And they are now telling us now that we are not capable to transmit ordinary results of election every time. I think we all know what we're doing. We know what we're doing. And I'm not surprised that the president signed that particular bill into law. The only thing that surprised me was that it was done in a jiffy, within less than 24 hours. I expect that the president will sign it, because I am aware that the president is within the power of the president to either sign or refuse to sign the bill. But since this bill is being promoted from the day that I noticed that the Senate president and the majority of the leadership of the National Assembly are in support of not allowing e-transmission or relying solely on e-transmission, I know definitely that that is the position of the president. Because the Senate president I know and the House of Reps speaker that I know will not do anything that is not in line with the interest of the president. And that is why the president could be confident enough not to even read it or even finish to his Attorney General to proofread before signing. Because I'm not sure that was taken to Attorney General. And if it was taken to Attorney General and he was able to read it within less than 24 hours, digest everything, and be able to advise the president to sign it, I think that we must give kudos to our Attorney General for being able to work in that manner. You see, like I said, like I was saying, the presidents are looking for things that will help them in their election. It appears they are not confident that they will be able to deliver free and fair election. Why are people asking for this? People are asking for it because of the experience of 2023, wherein no thanks to court, no thanks to our Supreme Court, wherein the Supreme Court stated that
Barrister, are you there? Okay, we seem to have lost Barrister.
That law and therefore cannot be relied upon as a collation center. So bearing in mind that position, people who have the view that look, we have to cure this mischief because INEC at that time, remember, on the excuse of glitch, they refused to they claim that they were unable to upload the presidential results. In the election, we have 3 elections on that day, House of Rep, Senate, and presidential election. Unfortunately, out of the 3, only one cannot be uploaded. So people suspected foul play. And in that regard, people were calling for amendments so that electoral intermission will be part of the law. Thank God it's part of the law now. But giving opportunity for INEC to decide to have an option where where it appears the electoral transmission is not working is like giving them a ticket, just like the last election, it's like taking all back to the previous electoral law, the one that being amended, which says that shall be as determined by INEC or by the commission, which means they have a discretion to determine what to be done. So, and in Nigeria, the way we see it, there is no trust, there is no confidence, there is no transparency. People don't believe in that INEC will do the right thing or will be fair. People do not believe. Up to date, INEC has not been able to explain to us the nature of a glitch they encountered. Up to that, they've not been able to tell us why they were not able to do that. So for me, I'm bearing in mind again that before the INEC man, the INEC officers, they were all over radio and TV stations. They even got went outside the country to say that, look, they are introducing IRF, and this IRF will be the game changer, that it will change everything. That because as we are voting, the result will be, everybody will be seeing results, which is what I applied, I think, in Osun also. I applied in that way that there was no issue of we are not able to do it. And the same INEC now come up later and say, we cannot do it again because of this and that. And the court said, look, it is within their rights. They say they can change the game in the middle. They can shift the goalposts in the middle of the game. That was what the Supreme Court indirectly said, that they have the right to. And like I said, I disagree with it. But the wisdom of the Supreme Court is the law. Whatever they say is the correct position. So whatever you have as reservation is your reservation. So because you know that that regulation that provided for IRF was made pursuant to constitutional provision, Section 160 and Section 140. I can't remember the other 141 of the Electoral Act or so. Section 160 of the Constitution and a particular section in the Electoral Act. So if a regulation is made pursuant to a law, that is a subsidiary legislation, and it should be given what's it called? It should be acknowledged as being binding on the person who has made it, except it's conflicting with any other law. And in this case, I'm not sure it's conflicting with any law. They were not able to tell us that this particular section conflicts with the provision of the law, because there is no why in the constitution that says you cannot. The constitution talk about collation by sending to. They are not saying at that time that IRF should be collation should be done on the IRF should be the collation, but they are saying let's see it. When you now see it, when you now say okay, from the IRF and from the manual collation, this is what we get. People would believe in it, but they judicial it. So because I say that it's not backed by law, nobody can challenge it. So people want that mischief to be cured, but it appears the president are not interested in that curing of that mischief. And that probably was why the president quickly and rushly signed it into law. It is within his right to sign a bill or refuse to sign a bill. But it must also be in the interest of the nation. The National Assembly are not working for themselves. The APC is not working for itself. The president is not working for himself. He's working for the nation. So if majority of the feeling within the society is that majority of Nigeria want that particular provision in the law, they do not want that proviso that was added to it. And but they believe that we are in a country where those in leadership believe that whatever that is good for them or whatever that they think is good for us must be what we must take. So we cannot tell them this is what we like. It is what they think is is good that they will give us, and then we must take it. That otherwise, if we are in a country where they follow interest of the masses, I think they will not go in that route. And nobody should blame minority opposition here. You cannot blame opposition here. You cannot say what are the rules of why opposition not talking? They are talking. They did that.
Are you still there, Barrister? All right, I think we having a bit of an issue there with our network, and internet is really not helping us in Nigeria. Rather than see a country that should go supersonic, what we are doing basically is dwindling by the day in 2026. But we hope that things will get better by providence, that is. And Barrister was speaking to the issue of the signing to law of the Electoral Act 2026. Nigerians want e-transmission. INEC had promised with Professor Mahmood that we would vote and immediately we would see results to what we are voting for. Unfortunately, what we have today is a president who has consciously decided to take us backwards yet again. Possibly taking us to the option A4 system in Nigeria, where where electorates needs to queue behind a candidate's posters. Maybe that's where he is taking us to in 2026, when the rest of the world are really moving ahead and allowing for election that should be free and fair. Barrister, are you still here with us? All right, so while we wait for Barrister to join, let's take a look at this issue from a bigger spectrum and ask ourselves, is this really the best thing for us in Nigeria? Lots of people have debated that the APC is literally scared of the 2027 general elections. Other people have had the opinion that the APC did not win the 2023 general elections. Even if it was made possible by the Supreme Court, Nigerians believe, a larger portion of Nigerians believe that the APC did not win. So the big question is it possible that the APC are scared that same might repeat itself come 2027, and which is why they have opted for a manual transmission rather than electronic one? It's actually quite disturbing that at a time like this, when good governance should take upper hand, when Nigerians should gladly come to vote, elections should not be a big deal. But in Nigeria, it is gradually becoming a big deal. We hope that this will get better. Barrister, are you here with us now?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, yes. Sorry for that little disturbance in communication. So allow me to finish your thoughts before we can continue on another question.
I am saying that if we are fully interested in moving our country forward, it is our responsibility, all of us. You don't leave it to the opposition party. You do not leave it to activists. You will not leave it to lawyers. You will not leave it to only politicians. We all should be involved in ensuring that it has been passed now. It has been signed into law, so it's not a law. We cannot revise that for now. Probably, if we do enough protest, probably they can consider working it, but that will not work for the current election. So I think we must do more.
All right.
If we want to, if the kind of protest, if we had the kind of protest we had in 2012 against first subsidy removal,
yes,
against this removal of this against this electronic transmission, probably we'll get what we're looking for. But only few people who some people believe do not have work or who don't have a source of income or who don't have business are the ones that are protesting. So, and even some Nigerians are even protesting it. So we are in the country where we are now. We are even in a system where our leaders, the party in power, do not even like any opposition, any protests. And the security agencies who are supposed to be neutral see themselves as part of the executive. And that's why you see when those who are protesting to have this electronic transmission included in our Electoral Act without that proviso, they were tear gassed. But if those people who are saying we support it, there won't be any tear gas. It will be free and fair. They will do it smoothly, not happen. So why I see that whenever there's a protest that's against government, that's why you see it being hijacked. Or that's why you see it being become violent. Why? And that's why you see the police being involved, throwing tear gas. Whenever a protest is in favor of government policy, you will not hear any hijack. You don't even hear any threats to hijack. You don't even hear that a tear gas was thrown. So we need to look into this.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons why election is not fair and fair, because security agencies most times are not fair. They take side.
All right. So yeah. So Barrister, I would love us to compare very two symbolic electoral system that we've had most recently in Nigeria. The first was in the Third Republic, 1993. Humphrey Wossu then introduced the option A4 open ballot system. And now I would love us to compare it to the manual transmission of results as made possible by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu with Amopiton equally occupying the INEC chair. What do you think is the difference? At the time option A4 was allowed, it was the best form of election where electorates will lie behind the picture or the poster of the candidates of their choice. So if we compare it to the manual transmission today, can we say they are both one and the same, or what's the difference here?
They are not the same at all. They are not. That option A4 will require you to go to a polling center and line up, and they will count you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see, we have moved past that level, and we should not go back to that level again.
But with this manual thing, is it not almost looking, even if this time around we don't count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but don't you think that adopting the manual is like an AI version of the option A4?
It's not the same thing. That one you have to keep count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one it will be written on paper. What the result of a vote of the ballot that you cast at the polling. So that's the difference between the two. In this case you pass ballot by going to somewhere and put your desired candidate, vote for their candidate, and then it will be counted thereafter. In that one, there's no need of you first straight line up count. That's all. We have gone past that level. We cannot even look at that particular system today because it's no longer fit for us.
All right. So while we hope that it is no longer fit for us because we've gone past it, what do you think this will do to Nigerians? Remember, the INEC continual voters registration is still ongoing. Don't you think with the signing into law of the Electoral Act 2026 as amended, Nigerians who have not registered or Nigerians who have registered might not see reasons to go cast their votes any longer? Because already the ruling party will decide who would win through manual transmission.
Henry, I tell you, some of the politicians will even be happy if a few people come out to vote. The fact that you abandon it make it easy for them to manipulate. So that abandonment is not even the solution. That staying away or being discouraged is not the solution. You must have more courage to say, look, I will even come out and do my best and ensure that we do the right thing. If you stay away, they will be happy. That will give them room. Manipulation is possible because most people are not coming out. if you have 10 million, for instance, 80 million registered voters, and you say less than 30 million, comes out. The 50 million within the 50 million is where the manipulation takes place. Or if you have a polling unit where they have 120 registered voters and only 20 people came out, that is, if you think that that's why they were able to add 110, or they will turn the 120 to either to 120, or to say to another number. But if all of you are there, it will be difficult for them to change, because it will now go beyond the number. But when you are not there, abandoning a problem is not the solution. What you must face the problem headlong. That's the only way you can solve it. If you are saying you are not, somebody this morning said people are not interested in participation because their vote will not count, because those who are already for the position, they will not allow them to participate. They will not give them opportunity to even win a ticket. If those in government today, you remember that majority of the people, particularly Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president today, was in opposition at the federal level for how many years? For over almost 20 years. If he had folded his hand and said that federal is very difficult, we are not part of it, or some of the people around him started that position and said, let's just concentrate on Lagos. That federal, people they've hijacked it. The ruling party will not allow us to do anything. Would they be there today? They won't be there. So if we all fold our hands and say it's a done deal, our vote will not count, they will not allow us, they will this and that. It's for the wicked people. They are wicked, they are bad, and you want to leave it for the wicked people, and you are expecting good results. It's not possible. So you must have more decision to say, in front of what is happening, I will put more effort to ensure that I do my best to get the required results in that regard. So if we all come out and the number is huge, to manipulate will be difficult. But because there's no number, that's why they are able to manipulate. Like I said, you have 50 people at the polling units, only 10 people are available. The 40 people that is left can be shared, and the number will be allocated to a particular party to cover up. That is the point here. Knowing fully well that the burden of establishing that it was irregularity is on the person who is challenging it, and you know the way it is in our court. If you are challenging irregularity, for instance, in 1,000 polling units, what our law requires is that you must bring one person from that polling unit. That means you are bringing 1,000 people. What time will you have in court to do that? So it's very difficult to even succeed in in any petition, and that's why you see it's very easy for needle to enter through the eyes of camel than a petitioner winning his petition in court. That's what I see about that.
All right, let's just hope that it will be better and Nigerians will not get weary or get tired of the process. Nigeria belongs to every one of us. It is our duty, our civic responsibility to protect it. Unfortunately, those who have occupied seats of authority, who have relentlessly told us that they know how to rule, are not leading us well, unfortunately. Nigeria is bigger than every single one of us, and it is our responsibility to protect it as much as we can. Soldier go, soldier come, barracks remain. Friends and folks, if you may, you can equally visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com to read up on everything we have talked about today. I am Henry Iwebike. Do have yourself a splendid day. Bye-bye.